Hello friends, in this series of memory management, till now we have discussed contiguous memory allocation, and there we resolved two major problems. One was space allocation policy and one was how to translate the logical address into physical address. As a conclusion of the policy, we understood that there are two major problems. One was external fragmentation, one was internal fragmentation, but external fragmentation was a severe issue because of which we have to switch to non-contiguous allocation policy. And now in non-contiguous allocation policy we have majorly two approaches to do that. One is called paging, one is called segmentation. Now in this video we'll start with paging. First we'll understand the basic concept and then we'll continue with more important and popular questions in the later videos. Hello friends, now let's understand the basic of non-contiguous memory allocation in paging. Now you see what we want a process to be stored in a non-contiguous fashion. What does it mean? When you pick a process from secondary memory and when you put it into the main memory, you don't want that it is required that the process should be stored in contiguous fashion. Why is it so? Because most of the time what was happening, that some place was vacant at some part, some place at some part, but space was empty, but because it was not contiguous, so because of which the process, we were not able to store the process. That was a major scenario. So now what I'll do, I'll partition the secondary memory. Similarly, I'll partition the main memory so that if some partition is empty somewhere, some partition is empty somewhere, I can utilize it. So you understand point number one. When we say non-contiguous memory allocation, we partition secondary memory into some number of partitions, or you can say blocks. Similarly, we partition main memory into some blocks. Now, you understand this thing. The size of each partition or each block is fixed, so that will be a fixed size partitioning scheme. And when we say fixed size partitioning scheme, we already discussed that we will suffer from internal fragmentation. What is internal fragmentation? Because you understand, if the size of a process is less than the size of the partition, even though we have to allocate the entire partition, there is no solution of that. But actually internal fragmentation is not that severe problem, as I have already discussed, and we will also discuss how to reduce internal fragmentation. So that will be not a good a very severe problem. So now you understand there are some number of partitions in secondary memory. Now you imagine if the size of each partition is of different size, means I say that is okay, I'll divide secondary memory into some partitions. But you understand, if suppose the size of this partition is 10 unit, this partition is 4 unit and something. Now will it be easy to maintain these kind of partitions? Answer is no, because if different size partitions you have, then to place these processes from secondary memory to main memory will be difficult thing to do. So what we do, we say we will divide secondary memory into fixed size partition, but the size of each partition will be same. Now that is a very crucial thing to say, because when you say the size of each partition will be same, then it is a common sense, or it is very logical that the management of these partitions will be very easy. Now secondary memory will be divided into equal size partitions to support non-contiguous memory allocation, and the size of each partitions will be same, and these partitions are actually called as what? Pages. Now if somebody asks you what is a page, you can say secondary memory is divided into equal size partitions, and these partitions are called what? Pages. The size of each page is same. Why you called it page? It is, analogous to the concept of a book. Like in a book, it will be very difficult to maintain a book if the size of each page different. Yes or no? Yes. So same logic applies here. When you break the secondary memory into equal size pages, then it is called what? Into equal size partitions, then these partitions are called pages. Now you understand this thing. Can I support different size partitions from secondary memory and for main memory? Suppose if the size of each page here in secondary memory, let me say, is 1 KB. So isn't it obvious that the same size should I also use in main memory? Answer is yes. Now you understand, I again do what? I again divide main memory also into equal size partitions, and the size of these partitions is also same as of what? Secondary memory, but now here I call them frames. Now that is a very important unit. So if a page is of size 1 KB, then the frame will also be of size what? 1 KB. Now you understand. Before we directly go to paging, what is the basic concept? To support non-contiguous memory allocation, we divide secondary memory and main memory into equal size partitions. First, yes, it is a fixed size partitioning scheme, but more importantly, even the size of each partition is also what? Same. And that is same when you called a partition, or you talk about a partition which is in secondary memory, then you called it what? Page. कि भैया secondary memory में हम तो बात कर रहे हैं, it is called what? Page. And if it is main memory, then we called it at frame. Now that is very obvious thing. Now you understand basic logic. If there is a process stored in secondary memory, let me say there's a process P1, and let me say it occupies 3 pages in secondary memory. Okay, let me make the process like x1, and so that I can name the pages appropriately. Now that is page 1, page 2 and page 3, just for example. Now there's a process which is in secondary memory which contain 3 pages. Please make a note of one thing. Right now I'm just assuming that the process is stored in a contiguous fashion in secondary memory. Actually it is also not required. When we'll discuss file allocation policy, there we can understood it could be also contiguous, non-contiguous, or even index allocation, which is very popular nowadays. So right now I am thinking, or I'm just imagining that these are contiguous, but actually it is also not required. Now you see, if there's a process which require 3 pages in what? Secondary memory. The question is, how many frames will it require in main memory? Answer is same, again 3 frames. Why? Because the size of page and the size of frames both are what? Same. So if 3 frames pages in secondary memory, then also 3 frames were in main memory. But you see, if suppose you have scenario something like this, this is occupied, and let me say these 2s are occupied. Now let me say I have 3 empty frames, 1, 2 and 3. Now is it possible that I break this process X into these 3 partitions and use them? Answer is yes. So now let me say page number 1 goes here in this frame, page number 2 goes here, and page number 3 goes here. And that is the beauty of non-contiguous allocation. Now it means what? If you have a process which is divided into pages, what I'll do, wherever I find a empty frame, jahan bhi empty frame milega, we can pick that page and put it into that frame. So there will be a complete independence from what? External fragmentation. Again you remember what is external fragmentation? कि साहब space तो है, we have sufficient space, but we are not in the position to allocate that space to a process because the space was not contiguous. But here there is no issue because the process was already divided into what? Some pages, and the pages can be put into appropriate frame wherever you find the empty location. So that is the basic of what? Non-contiguous policy. But now I have to discuss a major thing, which is what? CPU again will generate what? A logical address, and that logical address will be for what? Secondary memory. But now you have taken the process and put it into what? Main memory. But to access main memory you require what? Physical address. Now the question is how you will translate that logical address into what? Physical address, because in contiguous memory allocation it was an easy thing to do. Why I'm saying so? Because it was a contiguous policy, so you just require what? Base address. But here even it may also possible, you see there is no ordering among the pages, so page 1 may be anywhere, page 2 may be anywhere. So how we will find out the address of the pages in this system in non-contiguous allocation policy? That will be a very difficult point to answer. Now after understanding that what is a frame and what is a page, now you understand how the address translation goes on with paging. You see, when a CPU generates an address, as I told you earlier, CPU always generates a logical address. Now what is a logical address? Logical address is always actually for what? Secondary memory, because CPU thinks that only one memory is there in the system, which is what? Secondary memory. But because of memory hierarchy and locality of reference, we have placed a smaller memory in front of secondary memory, that is what? Main memory, so that what? A smaller memory can be accessed in smaller or a lesser time, so the average instruction access or average running time will be less, so system will be faster. But now you see, when I say now CPU generates a logical address, now the address can be divided into two parts now, and what is that? You say P and D. Now what is P? P stands for page number and D stands for instruction offset. You understand this very easily. Imagine there was a story and story was contiguous, and the story, for example, contained like 300 pages. It is something like this. You have a long story, contiguous story. Take now if I want okay, you go and read out instruction or line number, so I must say what? Okay, you go and read instruction line number 325, for example, 325. Now you go and then you access, for example, something here, line number 325. But now if I say I divide your story or your process into equal size partitions or pages, then you tell me what will happen. Now I'll not say you go instruction page number 25. Let me say every partition or every page contain, for example, 100 instruction. Let me say that, because we have already discussed that the size of each partition is what? Same. Now I'll say what? You go and access page number 1, 2, 3 and 4 and instruction number 25. Now you see that is advantageous. Even you can understand, I should not say that go and read instruction number 4328. How I say go chapter number this, page number this, instruction number this. So now CPU knows that you have divided the system into equal size partition called what? Pages. So instead of saying I want to access that much instruction number which was CPU doing in contiguous memory allocation, now CPU will say what? CPU will say I want to access page number this, and D stands for instruction offset. So now D is instruction offset. So it will say I want to access instruction number this, page number this. Now you understand this thing. What will happen? Imagine it says okay, I want to access page number 2, instruction number 24. Suppose, for example, now you see if the process was here like page number 1, page number 2, page number 3. That was a process in secondary memory, but now these pages are arranged in main memory in some random fashion. So suppose this is page number 1, this is page number 2, and let me say this is page number 3. Now what is the task? The task is to find out the address of these pages stored in what? Main memory. Okay, now we must understand that this problem can be solved in number of fashions. How? You see, if that is some process, let me say xi. Now the process xi, we want to find the address of the pages of xi. So what we can do in contiguous system, or we can say in a sequential fashion, like how a linked list work in a linear fashion, I'll say okay, you tell me what is the base address of the page. So like the limit register and the relocation value we have already used in contiguous memory allocation. So what I can do for every process, I can remember, I can store that what is the base address of the process, and then if I go to, and now what do I mean by the base address? The base address of the first page. So I'll go for the first page, and then the last line of the first page will contain a pointer to the second page, and then the second page last line will contain a pointer to, for example, a third page. You see, it is very easy. It works like a linked list. And similarly, what will be the advantage? Now it is not required to remember the address of every page, because that page will tell you where the next page is stored. By this way, in a non-contiguous fashion like linked list, you have resolved both the problems. So whenever you say I want to access page number 2 and instruction number 24, what I'll say, I'll give you the address of page number 1. You go to page number 1, then that page number will tell you where is page number 2, and then you can go and check the appropriate instruction number, whatever you want. So it is a basic standard non-contiguous memory allocation scheme which you want to access. But remember, this logic doesn't work here in paging. Why? Because if you do so, then the access will be very slow. Imagine a linked list. Now what is the average access time or the worst case access time? It is again order of n. Why it is so? Because if you want to access the nth node, for example, then that node or the address of the nth node contains what? n-1, and then for n-1 you have to come for n-2, again you have to start from starting. So if I want to access page number 200, what should I do? I should go for page number 1, then page number 2, and that way I must go till what? Page number 200. So imagine the access will be very slow. Now you understand two conclusions of the story. पेजेस आर स्टोर्ड इन मेन मेमोरी इन अ नॉन कंटिग्यूअस फैशन, अलग अलग तरीके से हमने स्टोर किया है. आई कैन नॉट गो फॉर कंटिग्यूअस एलोकेशन बिकॉज इफ आई डू सो देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ मेमोरी वेस्टेज इवन दो द एक्सेस टाइम वुड हैव बीन फास्ट बिकॉज हमने डायरेक्ट एक्सेस किया होता. बट नाउ we go for non-contiguous policy, but the problem is for every page first I must go through the first page, then second page tell me the address of the third page, the fourth page, and the system becomes very slow. So to improve memory, I don't want my system to be extremely slow. Now what is the solution? The solution is index table, which is the third class of solutions. We also use indexing or index based addressing even for file systems also. So now what is the shortcut method? You understand, I'll do nothing, neither I'll go back to contiguous memory allocation, and neither I'll say कि I'll remember the address of the first page. Now you see what is the trick. I'll maintain a new data structure called page table, and now please understand that is very important. A page table is a data structure, it is not a hardware. It will contain number of entries. Now how many entries a page table contain? Page table contain number of entries equal to the number of pages process have in secondary memory. For example, if this process contain 100 pages P1 to P100, then the page table will contain again 100 slots from P1 to what? P100. Again remember one thing, that page table is for a specific process, so every process have a independent page table. Remember this thing. Point number 2, how many number of cells or number of indexes or slots are there in the page table is the number of pages process have in secondary memory. Okay, now why I use this page table? This page table is nothing but the index, and what it will contain, so I'll say page number, it will have frame number. What does it mean? It says for some process to which this page table belongs to, page number 1 is hold in that specific frame number. I'm saying frame number, but actually it is the base address of that frame in the main memory where that page is currently stored. Now you understand this thing. I'll generate again a logical address, and it contain two parts, page number and instruction offset. Let me say I want to access page number 2, तो मेरे को page number 2 चाहिए, उसका specific instruction number, let me say instruction number 35. Now I'll go and access page table. Why I do so? Now page table second index, page number 2 will tell me where my particular page number 2 is stored. Now you understand what is this? This is not the frame, but this is the base address of the frame. It will tell me where that page number 2 is stored, where in what? Main memory. Now understand this thing, that wherever you place that page, will the instruction number in the page change? No. So if there's an instruction number line number 35, it will going to be remain line number 35 no matter where I place that page in the memory. So I don't require translation for what? Instruction offset, and that D will remain same. Now why I write F? Because now F is the frame number, and now when you combine this frame number with what? Instruction offset, no doubt you will get what? Physical address, which can be used to access what? The main memory. To understand this thing, that is a very interesting and beautiful architecture, how the system works. CPU generates a logical address which contain two parts, page number and instruction offset. With this page number I access page table. Page table is a data structure. Again you understand how I access this base value or the base address of the page table. I have a register called PTBR, which is page table base register. It's a special purpose register which holds the value of the page table. It is actually stored in PCB process control block. We'll cover that topic when I'll discuss process scheduling and process in general. So now page table base register will give you the base address of the page table. Now from this you access this structure by index. Remember this thing. तो आपको कैसे पता होता है कि कहाँ पे जाना है? You page number, page number, page number, page number. What I want page number 2. So I go to page number 2. यहाँ पे मुझे क्या मिलेगा? यहाँ पे मुझे उस फ्रेम का बेस एड्रेस मिलेगा जहाँ पे मेरा पेज करंटली स्टोर्ड है. तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल नाउ दिस इज एक्चुअली दिस F. So I'll get the base address of that P2, and that base address when combined with what? Instruction offset. You see what will happen? Instruction offset remains same. Instruction offset is nothing but what? Instruction number. So when you combine now this page number with the instruction number, it will become a physical address and can be used to access what? This main memory value directly. Now you understand what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of this basic scheme. Understand this thing. Now, is access very fast? Answer is yes. Why? Remember this thing, access is very fast, and also access is non-contiguous. But to do that, I have to pay a penalty of an independent data structure or an index table called what? Page table. Why? You see, I don't want my process to be stored in contiguous fashion, and you see, I don't want that page number 1 tell me the address of the page number 2. So what should I do? I must remember the base address of every page. So you have to pay heavy penalty. आप नहीं चाहते कि आपकी प्रोसेस कंटिन्यूअस हो, अदरवाइज यू विल सफर फ्रॉम एक्सटर्नल फ्रेगमेंटेशन. आप नहीं चाहते कि पेज नंबर 1 आपको पेज नंबर 2 का एड्रेस बताए, बिकॉज इफ यू डू दिस देन द एक्सेस विल बी वेरी स्लो. तो आपने क्या किया? आपने प्रोसेस के हर पेज का बेस एड्रेस याद किया. नाउ व्हाट इज दिस पेज टेबल? पेज टेबल विल कंटेन द बेस एड्रेस ऑफ एवरी पेज. So you see, from page number 1 to page number 10, I'll have the base address of every page of that frame, base address of that frame where your page is stored. And we have already understood that the size of a page and the size of frame will remain what? Same. Now you understand advantage. I'll access my process with a very convenient fashion, and you see there is no concept of what? External fragmentation, because if a frame is empty now, I'm going to use it out no matter whether it is contiguous or what? Non-contiguous. But what are the disadvantages? You see, now this page table is a metadata, because it gives data about data. Yes or no, it contains data about data, that where my particular data is stored. So it is a penalty. Again, do system have a page table, or for every process we have an independent page table? For every process, because किसी process का page number 1 कहीं और store होगा और किसी और process का page number 1 कहीं और store हो सकता है. So every process will have an independent page table. It is one of those data structure which is actually not stored in PCB, process control block, because it is very big in size most of the time. So we have to use it separately. आपको मिलेगा कैसे? Page table or PCB will contain an address which is called page table base register, which will tell you where that page table is stored. Now using this page table you'll find the frame number. तो आपने क्या किया है? हर पेज का फ्रेम नंबर याद है आपको, मेरा कौन सा पेज कहाँ पे स्टोर है. जैसे ही आप स्टोर करते हो तुरंत आप यहाँ पे लिख के रखते हो, so that in future if your process say okay I want to access page number 22, I'll go find by index page number 22, and whatever frame number I get, I'll combine that frame number with instruction offset. That'll become a physical address, और इस physical address से जाके मैं access कर लूँगा किसको? Main memory को. So you see, it's a very good idea. Advantages. Now there is no case of what? External fragmentation हो ही नहीं सकता साहब, because you have what? Non-contiguous policy. Disadvantages you see. Again, paging is a variable size or a fixed size partitioning scheme. Now it's a fixed size partitioning scheme, and if you say fixed size partitioning scheme, again you have to suffer from what? Internal fragmentation. We cannot support you. Why? Again you see, if a size of a page is what? 1 KB. Understand this thing, and the process require for example half KB or 512 byte. There's no other option. You have to allocate the entire frame. Again, one more thing, if you want to access suppose some data which is currently in what? Main memory, please understand that how many times you have to access main memory, because as I told you, this is a data or a hardware. You see, this is a data, and this data is also stored in what? Main memory. So because of paging, the system is going to be slow 2 times. Why? Whenever I access the data, first I have to access the page table to convert that logical address into what? Physical address. Now this page table is also stored in what? Main memory. So first I'll access main memory, then with main memory I'll find the frame number. I combine that frame number with instruction offset, and then I'll get what? The actual physical address. So and that physical address is also stored in what? Main memory. So instruction access time becomes double. You have to access first main memory because of page table, second because of what? This actual instruction. So disadvantage of paging is, yes, it suffers from internal fragmentation, but in the later stages I'll upload some video, we'll understand what will be the consequences if I increase or reduce the size of a frame or a page, using which we can change we can change internal fragmentation. Second major disadvantage you have is what? Timing, because now the time becomes double. If instruction access time becomes double, then the speed becomes half, and that is more severe penalty. I want you to understand one basic thing. In computer science, there's a reverse trade-off. If you try to have faster time, then there will be space penalty in general. If you want to have lower space, then there will be timing penalty. So there, what I try to do, we try to improve the space, utilize the space more efficiently, because main memory is a very important resource. So why? So we go for what? We go for non-contiguous policy, because of which the access time becomes slow. तो main memory को efficient utilize करने की कोशिश की, efficiently उसको यूज किया, उससे प्रॉब्लम क्या? नॉन कंटिन्यूअसली यूज किया, उससे प्रॉब्लम क्या? टाइम स्लो हो गया. नाउ फर्स्ट इन द नेक्स्ट वीडियो I'll upload some basic numericals, like how to do basic calculations on this framework, and then I'll tell you first how to improve this access time. So we use independent hardware called TLB, or translation look aside buffer, and then there will be number of concepts in paging. That is only the basic framework. Now what is multi-level paging, what is inverted paging, what is inverse page table? There are number of concepts, and then one more topic is what? Segmentation. And then actually your operating system nowadays use both. They use segmentation with paging. So now I'll upload the video in an iterative fashion with a very fast speed. So I'll hope very soon we'll cover the entire logic and all the popular questions that are usually asked in this concept paging. Thank you.